Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome not to a shopping centre video, or is it? Now, I'm actually on the pitch at a Dinamo football stadium, and this stadium is very unique in the world, and it's the only football stadium in the world with a shopping centre underneath the pitch. So, I'm going to take you there for a tour of the shopping centre, and of course there's a football match going on behind. We might catch a little bit of that, but how cool is the fact that I'm standing on top of a shopping centre? Of course, if you've watched football before, or your understanding of the basics behind it, I'm here actually on the pitch of Dinamo football stadium, and you can see the grandstands. This is before kickoff, so not everybody's quite inside yet, and all of the media and press that are here. And it's an absolutely beautiful day here in Moscow. You can see the sun shining, and then the far corner of the pitch there is still baked in sunshine. However, it will get a little bit darker, and this, I think, is normally the timing for the players to get off the pitch when the sprinklers come on. So quite literally, the last few players are doing their warm-ups or warm-downs, and then over here is the Krasnodar players going into the race and to the change rooms. And the last couple of players are coming off the pitch now. Super cool to see, literally this close to the players. And of course all of the fans who got these front seats want to wave or get high fives, but of course game time they don't really think about doing that, the players. As I rush away from the center of the pitch, I don't want to get in the way of the TV media, all of the Krasnodar players, or the reserve players, right here. Literally, how close am I? It's just amazing. Wow. Before we actually go downstairs or under the pitch to the shopping centre, thought I'd just give you a little look right here behind the goals, and you can actually see the pitch attendants out there. The sprinklers are going on. I'm not sure what the meaning behind that is. I guess they're just watering the grass, making it better. Somebody can let me know. And then this would actually be where all of the home fans for Dinamo sit, right here. And then sometimes behind those lights at the top there, they've got a band or maybe a singer. And yeah, the actual stadium is very nice. It's really quite an amazing stadium in the center of Moscow, and the construction of it and just the sheer size of it when you're inside. It's really hard to kind of get an idea of the stadium when you look from outside. And then on the far end, the reason why there isn't stadium seating is because that's where the ice rink is. So everything behind the goals on that opposite side is where the ice arena is, and then the seating for that. The thing I was a little bit confused about was, should I make a shopping centre video and talk about a football match, or should I make a football match video and talk about a shopping centre? I was a little bit confused. I've actually wanted to come and show this shopping centre for quite a while, and just the uniqueness of it, the fact that it's one of perhaps the only stadiums in the world that has a shopping centre under the pitch. Literally where I'm standing is the main shopping centre, so I really have to show it to everybody. As you can see from the time lapse, I've made it out of the stadium, and I've made it literally from the pitch to where is the entrance to the shopping centre, which is right behind me. And we're going to head on in and do a little bit of a walk around. I think of all of the stadiums in Moscow, the Dynamo one, I think is the most interesting. The fact that there is a football stadium here and a shopping center. It gives me two excuses to come here. One to see the game and one to make a tour for everybody. And of course, you know, a lot of the videos on my channel are of supermarkets and shopping centers. So let's head on inside and check it out as the sun slowly starts to set here in Moscow. One thing that is noticeable is the blue colors, which are the Dynamo colors, and they are literally everywhere, particularly in this entrance way right here. And the shopping center is open every day, 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. The actual supermarket opens at 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. Why wouldn't they not just close at the same time? Being that it's a match day, there's a little bit more security and a little bit more things set up here for people coming into the ground and then ultimately into the shopping center where we're going. So it's just a little bit more caution taken on match days versus non-match days. Essentially, the entire shopping center is the entire size of the stadium, and it's literally the entire space that's taken up below the field. So it'll be interesting just how big it is. I've only been in here once before and I didn't stay very long, and I've been meaning to come back here for quite a long time. The one thing they do have quite prominently at the front here is the advertising for the food court. Now I think a lot of people that do come to the matches come here for lunch or dinner, basically before or after the game. So they're definitely telling us to head to Burger King, which is at the back of this shopping center area here. So they do have a bank, and this is actually the main sponsor of the team as well. It's already closed. Perhaps they're not open on Sundays, I think. There is a lot of banks in shopping centers in Russia. They actually have a gaming center and all the guys and girls playing video games in the dark in here. These are also very popular in Russia, and people literally just bring their headphones and then start doing what they do. And this is one thing that's quite prominent in a lot of the shopping centers in Russia, is it's more than just clothes and shoes. And the shopping centers become destinations way beyond the simple classic shopping center. Dynamo, being that they've actually got an ice hockey rink also in the stadium, or at least off to the side of the football pitch, they also have a shop for the ice hockey team. Not so many people coming shopping in here today because of the fact that the football match was on. I'm sure in season it's a little bit different. They also have a UFC gym, which is quite interesting. And we can't actually see it because it's all back behind the walls. Train different is what it says. So you can come here and do UFC training. I'm not sure what that entails. There is another sports store here, and this one has, I think, a lot of multi-brands inside. I do like how they put the Dynamo colors. Maybe people who turn up and don't have club colors, they can buy at least something that's fairly generic looking. Is this a shopping center of only sports stores? There's another one here. And shoes. This is really a running store, it looks like, with a lot of things that are running related. And then all of the different multi-brands. Haven't seen this store anywhere else in Moscow. Wow, okay, so sports stores everywhere. There's a general outdoor shop right there. And then another ice hockey shop. This has literally all of the gear I've tried ice skating a couple of times and I'm absolutely hopeless. Have a look at this. They have absolutely everything you'd possibly need. If you're not sure who I am, I'm actually an Australian who lives here in Moscow, and I make videos about life in Russia in English. The actual fan base of the channel is predominantly non-Russian, however, and if you want to see more videos, perhaps check out one of the playlists or consider subscribing to the channel if you want to continue traveling with Russell, me here in Moscow. They also have a dancing center or somewhere where you can learn to dance, and they've got the studio back there. I think that's what they call them, dance studios. If I'm wrong, someone correct me again and let me know. It's really very interesting. The sports theme continues, and the amount of sport-only shops. I think it would make sense, right? If you're at a football stadium, ice hockey stadium, it'll be what you'd see here. There is another multi-brand store, and all of the very well-known sports shoes and running shoes. I don't know any of these outdoor brands, so if any of them look familiar, let me know. Definitely should come here and have a look for some nice winter shoes. They've got really a good selection in this shop. And one more sports store, and this is focused only on boxing, or real boxing. Let me correct myself. Have a look at the selection. Every possible type of boxing gloves. Basically everything you'd ever dream of if you were a boxer. Okay, finally a shop I recognize. This is Familia, and if you may be living in America, this is very similar to Ross or Marshalls. It's a clothing store where everything is literally on racks by size. If you've ever been to a Ross or Marshalls in America, or perhaps TJ Maxx, this is exactly what they look like here in Russia. There is no difference. So there's a men's section, ladies section, and then you do all your shopping by size and by season. As I keep walking around, there's really quite a mix of stores here, and a lot of perhaps untraditional shops for a lot of the shopping centers around Moscow. There's a gaming store with all the different art. Anybody knows what they are? Please let me know. I really don't kind of understand some of these things. They've got all the gaming chairs and all the pop art, which is super interesting. Very nice shop inside. Now I just noticed on the other side over here, they've got a flight simulator business. And you can actually see just through the door there, the actual, I guess, cockpit of the aeroplane. So you can actually learn to fly, or perhaps figure out how to fly. There is another fitness center here. I think maybe this one offers personal training and different things. So much sport-related things that they have at this shopping center. And then we eventually get down to the food court. Let's have a look at what they've got here. I was hoping for salad places and healthy food options, being that we're in a sports stadium, or at least underneath one. And then all of the very traditional Russian fast food. This is pretty much the same things they've got in every shopping center. Actually, you don't see very often Pizza Hut. And I'm fairly sure they left Russia. If anybody knows, please let me know, because I'm curious. And I think this place will be incredibly popular on match days. And maybe, of course, lots of people would live in this area. There's a lot of housing immediately where the stadium is. There's still lots of people, even though it's late evening here. Very famous potato restaurant. So basically you get a jacket potato and then fillings. They also do some sandwiches as well. Looks like Coca-Cola is still here. Or is it? And then over on this side, a bit of a mix of things. I think maybe Georgian food, from what I can recognize here. There's actually a Thai place over there as well. So there's actually a bit of everything. I do want to show one particular place here. They've actually got a Serbian restaurant in this food court, or a Serbian takeaway place. And the guy working here is from Serbia. And have a look. You can get the burger right there. And also, this is Serbian cola, or it's a herbal drink. And this is my dinner right now. So I didn't actually intend this to be a food tasting. However, because I'm having the burger here and the drink, I thought it's only appropriate that I do a little bit of a food tasting. So this is Kokta, which is a Serbian cola. It actually says finest herbal extracts, and it's definitely not Coca-Cola in any way. It's less gassy, it's more tasty. And for me, I've actually had this before when I went to Europe, and it's really very delicious. This is the first time I've found it in Russia, and I think perhaps this cafe is maybe the only place in Moscow, at least, that's selling it. And then the burger. So the main thing with Serbian burgers is they're handmade, and they've actually got very nice ciabatta bread. This is the classic burger. Oh. With salad, I think lettuce, tomato, cucumber, and it's very delicious. Now, I'm not just saying that, but if I was to go and get the Burger King over there, I can't compare this. This is essentially homemade, handmade. The actual burger patties are handmade patties. They're not frozen or manufactured. Very delicious. I really do hope you're enjoying this shopping center walk around. I'm going to slowly actually head on out on the other side, and I hope this is an interesting video. If you want to see more food tasting videos, let me know in the comments. If you want me to go to a particular one that you may know of here in Russia, and I can certainly put together something. However, I'm going to finish the video, and head on home. One of the very normal things, of course, in every shopping center in Russia, and I think everywhere in the world, they've got a supermarket. This is Perikrostok, which is a very well-known full-line supermarket chain. Plenty of things in there. I've done many videos on that chain of supermarkets if you want to watch a video. There's a shoe repair place. Looks like they do keys as well. And then I think here is the e-cigarettes right there. This is the other entrance to the supermarket. Actually, you go in this way and then pay and come out the other way. So it's a little bit later, so there's not too many people in there now. This is actually a men's barber shop. I've actually been to one of these before at another shopping center, and they do very amazing shave and men's facials. And I've not been for quite a while. I just go maybe once every few months. My wife almost makes me go there. There is actually a pharmacy here. And if you've watched any of my supermarket videos, you might notice that there isn't pharmacy items in the supermarkets in Russia. And you have to come to standalone supermarkets if you want to get any kind of medications, even things like a Band-Aid or maybe some sort of something for an ailment, and you have to go to a standalone shop rather than buying it in a supermarket. Men's clothing store. Now, the one thing to take note while I'm walking around, this is Sunday evening, and this is a non-working day. Tomorrow, of course, everybody's back to work. This is a very big children's supermarket, and I think all the kids are in bed, which is why there's nobody in there now. And it's a really big chain through all the shopping centers in Russia. Have a bookstore, which is nice. Bookstores still exist in the world, I think. This is an electronics store here on the left, very well known. You can shop online, have things delivered. This is actually one of the smaller ones. They've made them now into more kind of smaller versions of the big, large box electronics stores. They realize a lot more people shop online, and it's not necessary. So yeah, this other side seems to be all of the more traditional things. Very big shoe store here called Kari. Very similar to Payless shoes that you would see around the world. Almost exactly the same, actually. And then over here we've got a kitchen store. Anything you possibly like for your kitchen. Very nice things in here. And then we've got the Dynamo team store. Now, the fact that the game's been over for a few hours, the actual place is cleared out. When I came much earlier before the match, they actually had it even roped off and limit how many people come in here. There's a ladies section. And then pretty much anything you want that's Dynamo colors is in this place. So they only have little pop-up shops in the stadium itself. And then why not just put everything here in the shopping center? They've got all of the club shirts, all the things for back to school. They've currently got a big cross promotion with A4, who's actually a very big YouTuber in Russia. So I don't know what's going on, why I don't have my own merchandise. Of course, you can get shot glasses in Russia. That's an absolute given. Actually, it's a 2-level place. Oh, they even have some of the trophies up there. That's very neat. And more clothes, of course. So one of the main reasons I wanted to come here and make the video was really to talk about the fact that we are literally under the pitch of the stadium, and I think you lose perspective of that once you come inside. It really feels like you're just in a normal, typical Russian shopping center. This is a place called DNS, which actually mostly used to specialize in computers. But they've got a little bit of small appliances now, a lot of phones. Also very popular to shop online. And the shops are here. However, we can all shop online, we can all come and do in-store pickup. There is still people here. This is very interesting for so late that there's still a few people around. You have to remember, in Moscow, 300 shopping centers. So this is just another one amongst the other 299. So there's a couple of different underwear type shops. Of course, we all know what happened to Starbucks. And it looks absolutely exactly the same, except the sign right there. And actually, I think for me, the food choices have improved because of the agreements with the owner who bought it out, brought some of his own products over. There's one more shop here for cosmetics, hugely popular in Russia. And I think we all know what happened to McDonald's. And this, again, really hasn't changed. These were all here existing, and literally just the signage has changed. So this is actually a good way to figure out the whole stadium. So we've done the whole lap around, and this is exactly the footprint of the stadium itself. And then essentially the pitch would be an oblong right over the top. And at one far end, there isn't actually seating because it's where the ice arena is. And that is Dinamo Shopping Center in a nutshell. I might do the ending from literally walking out the door. I don't know how bright it will be outside. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you found it interesting. A little bit of food tasting, something new. If you want that to become part of shopping center or supermarket videos, I can quite easily do that. That burger was delicious. I know everybody that does food videos generally always complimentary of what they taste, but there's definitely a difference between a small cafe like that where the guy working there is Serbian and he's making things to his recipe. Yeah, this Blue is back, and just like everyone else walking out, we're all heading to the metro to go home. So I thought that this was a very interesting shopping center. The fact that it's under a football pitch, or is a football pitch on top of the shopping center. We'll have to figure that out. And I don't know what my ending will be. Maybe you're a football fan. Maybe if you put that in the comments, or just you're a fan of the channel. And if I say the word fan, I know for sure you've got to the end. If you want to follow me on Telegram, right here's the link. And you watch an old video on the channel, click this. I'll put it on a random choice this time, so I don't know what video will go there. So I hope it's something you haven't seen before. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.